All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So quarter four of 2024 is shaping up to be absolutely insane with the presidential election coming up, tensions overseas in the Middle East rising, crypto investors holding on to the edge of their seat as they get ready for the next major move in the market. In 35 days, the next FOMC meeting is coming up. So in this video, we're going to discuss expectations for interest rates, what that means for the Fed funds rate, how that will affect inflation, how the Fed dropping interest rates has affected the stock market and the most likely scenario moving forward over the next few months, what's happening with the US debt clock that we need to be ready for by 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Tony Edwards, who spoke with a former Ripple employee at Mainnet, he asked them about the coming Ripple stablecoin and whether they think it could negatively affect XRP and what they had to say. As Ripple continues to mint more RLUSD from their treasury, what effect will this have on the price of XRP in the long term? We have to talk about what Tether's treasury did by minting USDT earlier this year and how that directly affected blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tron, and other chains, including the entire altcoin market and everything that you hold. One of the most important charts that you're going to look at all day that tells us where we're going to go next. We're going to bring up Tether and Bitcoin, compare them together to give you an understanding of how stablecoins directly affect the market, and some other powerful data-driven information to give you guys a better understanding of what's going to happen to your portfolio leading into the end of this year as global liquidity starts to expand. Everybody in the crypto market gears up for October if we're going to go up or if there's more choppy, range-bound, boring sideways trading action over the next 30 days. What's happening right now with Bitwise, Blackrock, Ripple's XRP, and other institutions gearing up for regulatory approval for the entire crypto industry, specifically for XRP ETFs. And the reason why everything will simultaneously rise in this Fed rate cutting cycle. That way you can be ready and properly positioned to make the most amount of money possible before the next major move happens. So if you guys are feeling bullish, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, comment 777. And as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button, liking this video, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about what's happened over the past 24 hours, because with the news over in the Middle East and drone strikes and all that stuff, there was an initial hit in the market, but it wasn't as bad as everyone thought it was going to be. Bitcoin's at $61,000. It's bouncing back. Solana's at 144. XRP is at 57 cents, so XRP is down nearly 4% in the past 24 hours, along with some other projects like DOESN's down 3%. Some projects are actually up. If we scroll down the list, you guys can see over the past week, Sui's holding up really well. And I think Sui's actually going to be one of the top L1 blockchains this bull run cycle. So I did accumulate some Sui around $1 to $1.17 between those levels. And so I do think this project's going to do well this entire bull run. And I'm working on another video right now for you guys talking about some other projects that I think are going to crush it this entire bull run in different narratives like artificial intelligence, meme coins, real world assets, layer ones, decentralized exchanges, gaming projects, etc. So if you guys want to see that video when it drops, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, you like this video, and you'll be notified when it's released. Also, if you guys want to be notified before the algorithm pushes these videos to you and you want to get on our early bird list for the launch of our crypto education platform, we are very, very close to this, and you want to take your knowledge and your portfolio to the next level, just go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, you'll be instantly subscribed, you'll be on the early bird list, and we will notify you guys first, because our goal is to educate and empower you guys with the best information possible so you know what's happening in the markets. And all the information we bring to the table is data driven. And so I want to talk about the facts, I want to talk about the data, starting with Fed rate cuts, because on 3 occasions, back in 1995, 1998, and 2019, where the Fed cut interest rates and a recession didn't follow. This is a key here. A recession didn't follow. Bank stocks, on average, sold off initially after the first cut, then rallied several weeks after, outperforming the S&P 500 per Wells Fargo securities data. So when we look right here at the CME Fed Watch tool in 35 days, we can see that 61% are expecting them to cut rates by 25 basis points. 38% are expecting a deeper rate cut of 50 basis points, maybe 75. So anywhere between 25 and 50 basis points will be Jerome Powell's next decision. And then this is November 7th. The next meeting is the 18th of December. And so as you can see, 48% are expecting them between 400 to 425 basis points. And so the Fed is going to continuously cut rates, and what we're going to see happen here on the effective federal funds rate data, because we were paused for so long, we're going to see this start to trickle down in a stair-stepper fashion, very similar to what we saw, happen back here in the past, where they drop rates and then the next meeting they drop again, then they drop again. And what the Fed and Jerome Powell said in his speech was they're going to monitor unemployment to make sure that unemployment stays at or below 4.4% by the end of this year. And so as unemployment starts to tick up, the main concern that people had was a recession being when unemployment spikes. You can see in this, darker gray square here, a recession happening every time unemployment spikes up. So this is what they're trying to keep under control. And so they're essentially kicking the can down the road, so to speak, like what happened from July of 2019 to February of 2020, when they started lowering interest rates. By November of 2019, if we look at the inflation data on what happened here over the past 10 years, inflation was down below their 2% target in September. It was at 1.7. Then October it ticked up, and then it started to go up in November and December. So they had to pause on their interest rate cuts because they realized that if they kept cutting too much, inflation was going to drastically spike to the upside. So the inevitable situation here that's going to take place is inflation right now is lower than what it was in July, than what it was in June, than what it was in May, depending on how they fib these numbers. But regardless, just based on data on what they're officially showing, it's well below the June 2022 high of 9.1. But them lowering interest rates is going to directly affect inflation, and we're going to see this start to curve back up again when it bottoms out. And what'll happen here, depending on how rapid inflation data spikes back up, as you guys can see what happened here between November of 2020 until April of 2021, when the bull run kicked off last time, we went from 1.4 to 1.7, then 2.6. And then by April of 2021, it was at 4.2 and inflation was out of control. And this was the exact same time that the crypto market was breaking out and the stock market. As you can see here, back in November of 2020, for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, went from around like 30,000, and during the peak of that bull run, upwards of 37,000. Now, what's interesting here is the data you can see on the screen with this purple line when the Fed started cutting rates back in July of 2019. For 200 days after that first rate cut, the market rallied up from 25,000 for the Dow to nearly 30,000. So we had 220 days of bullish price action. So with the first rate cut taking place, if we were to just measure, let's just say 200 days, of course, it's not going to be the exact same situation because we're in a different economic climate, but that brings us to April of 2025 for a potential peak to be in for the Dow. So in my opinion, just based on the last rate cutting cycle, there's still time for the markets to rally. And considering when we stack up Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator on the stock market, which I get it's different data because it tracks Bitcoin's halving cycle, but when we go from orange to yellow, we see a massive breakout each time in the stock market. Going back to 2017, orange to yellow, massive breakout. Going back to 2013, orange to yellow, massive breakout. And then right here, even after the 2009 crash from orange to yellow, massive breakout. So every single time, 100% of the time that we went from orange to yellow in terms of the days until Bitcoin's next halving, we saw a breakout. Now, it has less to do with Bitcoin's actual halving cycles every 4 years and more to do with global liquidity cycles that I'm going to get into in a little bit with you guys. But this is the perfect storm of opportunity in the midterm for a bull run. Now, when the bear market kicks in, whether that's middle of 2025, end of 2025, going into 2026, when a bear market really starts kicking in, you need to be ready, because if you're not properly positioned in the markets and you're not hedging out around that time and you're FOMOing in to buy the top during the euphoria stage, then you're going to be like 90+% of retail investors that gets absolutely wrecked. And so that's why it's important to stay plugged in every single day to this channel, because I'm going to be continuously bringing up data and charts, and we're going to be adapting to the market conditions, because there could be black swan events that happen at any moment, but we'll be ready to back up the truck for those, because we all know the dollar is going to continue to lose value over time. And all that the Fed and the Treasury continue to do is just print more money. The US national debt is $35.4 trillion. The debt per citizen says 104,000, debt per taxpayer 269,000. So this is why Trump has said, like joking around that, hey, maybe we're going to pay off the debt with crypto and just write a $35 trillion check, because he knows that the Federal Reserve isn't going to fix the problem. Kamala Harris isn't going to fix the problem. Even Trump, guys, isn't going to fix the problem unless there's a massive reset, because the dollar cannot be backed by nothing forever, because when the dollar was taken off the gold standard in 1971, this was the beginning of the end of the debt spiral. And then in 2008, 2008, when the subprime mortgage crash collapsed, and then George W. Bush came in and really started, working with the Fed, and not Jerome Powell at the time, but the chair of the Fed to issue QE, quantitative easing. That's when debt started spiking up. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, the debt was at like $6 or $7 trillion. And so I'm not that old. Over the next 10 years, this thing is going to be out of control. By 2030, they're projecting this to be over $50 trillion. This is the sign that we are heading into a massive bull run, because to go from 35 to $50 trillion in debt, the most intelligent human beings on the planet know where that's going to flow to. It's going to flow to gold. It's going to flow to different commodities. It's going to flow into real estate. It's going to flow into the stock market, crypto. And we're going to see the market get so overly inflated that people are going to be drunk off of the gains, and they're not going to be ready for when the crash takes place, like what happened in 1929. This is exclusive. Tony Edwards spoke to a former Ripple employee at Mainnet, and the person was part of the team that developed Ripple's on-demand liquidity product. He asked them about the upcoming RLUSD stablecoin and whether they think it could negatively affect XRP as they mint more of it. They mentioned that they had advocated for Ripple to launch a stablecoin years ago. Paraphrasing their response, they said the stablecoin will actually be beneficial for XRP as it will be paired with XRP. So for the people out there that have been concerned that like they're ditching XRP, they're just going to use their stablecoin instead, well, XRP will help provide the stablecoin with greater liquidity since it is available on all exchanges. Additionally, this pairing will help stabilize the stablecoin and prevent depegging. They also stated that the stablecoin will open up new use cases in the foreign exchange market, which is like a 15, multiple $1 trillion a day industry. Even one of the employees over at Swift said they look forward to working with Ripple and using XRP when they get into the foreign exchange market. So this is the stepping stone that they need to make that happen. And there's been whale trackers and Ripple stablecoin tracker right here that's tracking the minting of RLUSD at their treasury. Just recently, 20 hours ago, 1.3 million was minted. August 21st, you had like 185 RLUSD minted to start it out. 300,000 was minted September 27th. So they keep minting it, and we can track these transactions here on xrpscan.com. This one right here for 1.3 million. But the most important thing to focus on here, guys, as we get into this section of the video talking about USDT with Tether's treasury, they minted 1 billion USDT over in January 9th of 2024 at the beginning of this year, before we start see the market rally up. So every time that Tether mints more USDT, we see the markets pump. And this first causes Bitcoin to rally, and then that liquidity flows into altcoins that are also paired to Tether, because Tether is the largest stablecoin in the market. So Ripple, with their stablecoin, they're going to absorb a big chunk of that liquidity and pair that to XRP. And when you look at this chart closely, we can see Bitcoin's price in orange and Tether's market cap in billions of dollars. As Tether's market cap goes up, you see the crypto market and Bitcoin follow. Now, we don't just trust, we verify. So pulling up live on TradingView right here, you guys can see we have Tether's market cap at the top of the screen. And if I were to zoom in, it gets so ridiculous when you see what happens when we go from orange to yellow. Like, it's hard to even see it because Tether's market cap just keeps going up over the years. But a key to note here is during a bear market, you guys can see when we go from light green to like light blue and then dark blue, we see Tether's market cap market cap go down because liquidity is just flowing out of crypto in general, and it's going into like cash, USD, and bonds as people exit the crypto market during a bull run. So because the liquidity cycle moves in roughly 65-month waves, we just see liquidity come out of risk on assets in general and move into like less risky stuff like government bonds and other investments for the wealthy. But look right here, back in January of 2017, what happened in the crypto market, specifically Bitcoin, its price went from roughly $900 and erupted upwards of $20,000 when Tether's market cap was growing and Tether was minting more USDT. Right here, you can see roughly in November of 2020, when we went from orange to yellow in terms of Bitcoin's stock to flow rainbow indicator, Tether's market cap went from 18 billion upwards of 67 billion, and Bitcoin went from like $19,000 upwards of $60,000. So the real question is, where are we right now in terms of Tether's market cap and what's about to happen next? Well, every single time, 100% of the time that we went from orange to yellow, just like I showed you, look at what happened to Tether's chart. I mean, I have to zoom out on the macro because it's just too hard to see because of how drastic it was. Last time, 20 billion, upwards of 60 billion. So it did a 3x in terms of billions of dollars. The time before then, it went from 13, 14 million, upwards of 300 million, and inevitably $3 billion. So it's not necessarily if Tether's market cap will go up, it's just how high it'll go up, because nobody virtually knows how much will come in, but it'll go up inevitably. And so as we go from yellow to light green and then light blue, you guys can see right here on the top of the screen, then we go into a bear market. And so this leads me to believe that the bear market is really going to come at the end of 2025, 2026. And we'll do something like this, where we top out between light blue to dark blue. And then when dark blue kicks in, I'll be making videos explaining to you guys when I'm hedging out of the markets. And we'll see something like this takes place, closer to November, December of 2025 at the end of the bull run cycle. And so as Tether's market cap goes up, it's really simple. Bitcoin breaks out and goes up. And so we just have to be positioned in the water getting ready for that. So Bitcoin, according to this chart right here, posted by Quinten, is massively undervalued. You can see the actual value and the fair value compared to the past. So in January of 2019, the fair value is up here, the actual value is down here, it was undervalued. Then Bitcoin rallied up, it got overvalued at the peak of the market. So the key to investing is buying when something is undervalued and selling when it is drastically overvalued. So where are we right now compared to the fair value? We are 50% undervalued. And so, not telling you to accumulate Bitcoin, I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell anything, because I'm not a financial advisor. You should always consult your financial advisor and always do your own research, because crypto is risky. You can lose money in these markets, even while things are undervalued, because you might be buying the wrong thing. You might be buying a peak, selling the bottom, and operating off of emotion. And so that's why you should always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. But data shows that we are undervalued right now. Also, if we confirm on Bitcoin's stock to flow model, the stock to flow line based on the 365 days average can also show us when we are undervalued and overvalued. When we are under the stock to flow line, history shows us that we are undervalued. For example, we were over the stock to flow line right here in March at almost $73,000. The stock to flow model showed $50,000. So we were due for a correction. And sure enough, that's exactly what we got. Since March of this year, we've been trending sideways and slightly down. And so now that we are below the stock to flow line, let's look at what happened the last time that we did something like this after Bitcoin's halving, where we were above the line. Bitcoin's stock to flow was roughly at 5,300. Bitcoin's price was at 9,800. We had to trade sideways back below the stock to flow line right here. When Bitcoin's price was at roughly $11,000, it just stayed stagnant as the stock to flow started to trend up. Bitcoin was supposed to be around 11,000. That was signaling to the whales that Bitcoin was now ready to break out and it's time to put money into Bitcoin. And so they pumped it up as we went from orange to yellow, well above the stock to flow line, overvalued, and then we have to come back down below it. And so every single cycle plays out this way. And when you understand this, you know when to position yourself on the macro. And the smartest investors are the ones that just literally buy and hold. And even the best investors, are like dead people. They say that somebody who is dead, like you have to look at your portfolio. And if someone were to look at it and be like, wow, this guy must have died because he hasn't touched anything in forever. And it just keeps going up, because the people that lose the most amount of money are the ones that just trade in and out. They panic buy, they panic sell, and they get too emotional in the markets. Whereas the people that make the most money, they just buy when things are undervalued. They wait and they hold and they sell when it's drastically overvalued. Look at what happened in Bitcoin's last halving cycle. It got drastically overvalued before the halving, where the stock to flow line was at $447. Bitcoin's price was overvalued at $767, came back down to the line and even below the line, and it stayed below the line for a while. I mean, until virtually the end of the bull run, until August 12th of 2017. Then it got drastically overvalued, going into light green, and then that's when it was time to take some profits. The stock to flow line said $4,000. Bitcoin's price was at $19,000. So where are we right now in comparison to what's possible at the end of this bull run, and how will that affect XRP? I know, because I'm talking about Bitcoin a lot, but it's important to know this, because if you care about your XRP portfolio, you need to care about what's going to happen to Bitcoin, because then this rotation that takes place into other altcoins, XRP being one of them, will directly affect the value of your holdings. And so as we go from red to orange, where's the stock to flow model? It's at $108,000, whereas Bitcoin's price is at $63,000. So it's undervalued, according to the stock to flow model, by the tune of over $40,000. So in my opinion, the next move for Bitcoin to the upside will come up back to the stock to flow line. Depending on where that would be, I would assume it would be anywhere from like $100,000 to maybe $150,000, $160,000 on the next move up. Then we see the next consolidation phase for Bitcoin, and we see one final blow off top. Whether we overextend the top of this stock to flow line or not, I personally don't care. I'm just going to be looking on the color code in terms of the days until the next halving. So I'm not going to be selling based on a price. Amateurs do that. I'm selling based on global liquidity cycles, based on how far we are into the 4-year cycle theory, based on macro market indicators like the relative strength index on the monthly, the MACD, the stochastic RSI, and all of which I'm going to be sharing with you guys for free on these videos, because I want to help you win. I want to help you make money, so that way we can all win together here, and we can essentially not only beat the banks but front run the institutions, because this is one of the first cycles in the first industries where we can front run institutions, where we got in before Blackrock did because Larry Fink was too skeptical, and now he's coming out saying that he was a skeptic of Bitcoin, he was wrong, now he believes in it, and now they're filing ETFs. And so this brings me to the next half of this video, where we talk about global liquidity index and we talk about the ETFs and what's happening for XRP, because the global liquidity index in terms of long-term cycles moves based on 65-month waves. I know you guys have seen this many times, but as China starts to issue more stimulus, as the Fed starts cutting rates, as they go back into easing, as inflation is near their 2% target, when we start to see inflation tick back up, people move money out of cash because they realize they're just going to lose more money in cash as inflation goes up, and they move it into risk on assets. So when inflation's going up, risk on assets like crypto do even better. Also, as global liquidity increases right here, you guys can see that this is the perfect storm for a bull run. You can see what happened in 2022. Global liquidity was all the way up here in terms of the index at 90. Very overvalued, and we saw the bear market take place, and then it bottomed out right when the crypto market bottomed out. And so this moves first, and then Bitcoin and the altcoins lag behind it, and they catch up to it. And so we're still down here at, like, I don't know, 20 to 30. This chart's a little bit outdated, but comparing 2023 Bitcoin to 2024 Bitcoin, the bears that are shorting the market right now, expecting Bitcoin to go to 40K, are about to lose everything, according to Max Bitcoin. When you look from September to October of 2020, when Bitcoin chopped sideways and it broke out in October, we saw October didn't do the best. It obviously came down by the middle of the month, and then it started to trend back up, and then ultimately finished strong going into November as we broke the high at the beginning of October. And so because the high was the end of September, early October, then the missile strike, overseas tension, it spooked everyone in the market. We see this sell-off take place. Well, in my opinion, we're going to chop around here for a little bit, like I talked about in the last video. We could even come back down to retest this descending resistance as support, similar to what we did back here towards the middle of October, and chop around at it before seeing the next major move to the upside. This would be a very healthy back test of a descending resistance. And so the price for Bitcoin could come down to, maybe $56,000, $58,000, but to go to $40,000, I think those people are going to get wrecked, and that will be a massive bear trap. Look at this. Why would a company like Bitwise, the world's largest crypto index fund manager, file an S1 for an XRP ETF? Could it be that the SEC gave up, that they're not going to appeal? They just are accepting the $125 million from Ripple, and they're going to move on? That would be the smartest move for the SEC, because as the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, said it, it's inevitable. All these companies are going to be working on ETFs for all these different projects. Bitcoin was the first one, then we see Ethereum, and now we're seeing XRP.
So you would welcome an XRP ETF then?
We would certainly welcome it, and I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. And I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets that also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly Blackrock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall. Ripple obviously is a very important stakeholder in the XRP ecosystem, but we're not the only player. And look, we've seen, before the SEC lawsuit, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. I think because of the headwinds of that lawsuit, we've now seen that largely abate. But the long-term view on these things is about, how do you create utility and really solve real-world problems with these different digital assets?
And so you guys know what happened when all of those filings came out about Bitcoin's ETF? mark my words, this is going to start to happen for XRP as well too. And so while XRP, if you think Bitcoin's undervalued, wait until you see the chart I'm going to show you in a little bit on how drastically undervalued XRP is. This is going to be one of the best macro trades in history. Now, a second XRP ETF has been filed, this time by Canary Capital. So the race for the XRP ETFs is heating up, and all these companies are going to want a piece of the pie. So all of the smartest people in the space that I've talked to all believe that XRP is going to do well long term. Obviously, the thing that's been suppressing it is the lawsuit. And so eventually that's going to wrap up. It can't keep going forever. The SEC has literally days to make a decision here. And so we'll see what happens, whether there's an appeal or not. But either way, I'm bullish because China has made the biggest move yet since the pandemic to get its ally and economy back on track. Savvy investors will recognize that this is good news for the USA too. And Jim Paulson said this is the only bull market in post-war history where the Fed has tightened during its entire existence. When the Fed drops short-term interest rates, bond yields also decline, inflation typically moderates, the money supply tends to quicken, and fiscal juice begins expanding. Finally, because of the introduction of these positive events, expectations of improved economic growth and profitability emerge, both consumer and business confidence rise. It is the cocktail of support at the front end of a bull market, which commonly has created an everything market during the early part of a new bull. This is for a period almost everything simultaneously rises. Value growth, small, large, defense, and cyclicals are usually by a lot. Full support for this bull market has just begun and is likely to be enforced for at least the next several months. And Tom Lee says the fact that September is strong is a sign this is very strong market. That said, we are still in the uncertainty weeks into election day. We see a far tighter race than the past one. Fed is dovish and stocks are higher 3 months later, 7 out of 7 times after the first cut. As I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, we had 200 days since the last cut where the markets rallied up and then topped out, and then we saw the black swan event take place. And so stocks and crypto are more correlated than pretty much ever. In the wake of the last week rate cut from the Fed, the 40-day correlation coefficient for the gauge of the largest 100 digital assets in the S&P 500 index is at a level exceeded only in the second quarter of 2022. To many analysts, this indicates that both markets are currently driven primarily by macroeconomic forces, meaning that all eyes are on the U.S. central bank for hints about its next move. The Fed says that the next major clue could come later this week when the Fed is expected to comment on a key consumer spending metric. Longer term, most analysts expect at least one more rate cut by the end of the year. Either way, this bull market has just begun. It's likely to be enforced for the next several months. So looking at XRP to the US dollar, going all the way back to 2013, XRP stays asleep for a while. Once we go from orange to yellow, we see the final shakeout event take place where we see a break of structure, a back test of a key resistance. In this case, it'd be this descending resistance back here. September 2016, XRP rallies up, sees a shakeout back down to it as support, then blasts off of it. We saw the same thing happen in January of 2018 until July of 2020. It broke out, goes from orange to yellow. It broke out even more, prior to the lawsuit. Who knows where this pump came from? Maybe they knew the lawsuit was going to come, so they just pumped it up from 25 cents to 80 cents. Whoever those insiders were sold it down all the way back to back test, basically perfect structure, this descending resistance as support, then blasted off going from yellow to green. So yellow is the key thing that we need to watch because XRP has been asleep. I mean, it's virtually at the bottom where it was of like 30 cents. I mean, it's just a 2x from right there. So it's not doing bad by any means. Like if you bought in the bear market lows, you're up 2x on your income. Where would you get that in the dollar? You just don't get that holding the dollar. So I think XRP, even though it's still suppressed, it's a better hold than just having US dollars. And if I need to sell XRP to pay bills or pay my mortgage or pay for car payments, I can do that because I'm up a 2x from the low. And I was accumulating XRP all the way back in 2020. And so why would I sell my XRP right now with the ETFs coming, with global liquidity increasing, with institutions piling into crypto, with M2 getting ready to surge to new all-time highs, with the Federal Reserve and the Treasury continuously printing, with global debt going from $35 trillion to over $50 trillion by 2030, with XRP sitting on the upper echelon of this descending resistance at 57 cents, getting ready for the next major breakout. I think the next move for XRP is going to be pretty rapid, pretty sudden as Bitcoin breaks out, and then we could potentially see, the next shakeout event and backtest of this descending resistance, because this whole phase right here for XRP has lasted longer than any other consolidation phase in history. If we measure from the 1st of June of 2022 to where we are today, it's been 853 days. if we were to measure from the low of March of 2020 before XRP really started breaking out, it was like 150 days or like 260 days, or we measure 396 days. Even till the all-time high, it was faster to go from the low to the all-time high than where we are consolidating right now. If we were to measure all the way back here from this low to when XRP finally broke out, it was 974 days. So actually I'm wrong. This is the second longest consolidation phase from the low, because from July of 2014 to the breakout, that was actually longer. So if you guys are frustrated right now, imagine how people felt holding XRP through this phase right here. Like people that bought XRP at 2 cents, 0.026, they had to wait from December of 2014 to March of 2017. Do you guys think that those people weren't frustrated? I mean, I was accumulating XRP like on the way up. I bought some as XRP was breaking out. I also bought more right here. And then, I made the mistake of not selling any up here, but who cares? Because in the long term, we're going to win. And in my next video, I'm talking about a diversification strategy where we've been making crazy gains on other projects in the space because of the narratives like artificial intelligence, gaming, real world assets that are gearing up to take off, and meme coins as well too. And so that just allows us to generate more revenue to rotate back into XRP. And some of the best projects are yet to even be discovered. I made a video a few months ago about a project that I've just been stacking up, which is the equivalent of like 1,000 to 2,000 XRP per day. That's paired to XRP in the largest liquidity pool in the world, because when XRP finally starts to break out and goes into this explosive phase, lots of eyes and attention are going to rotate over to XRP, and the top projects on the XRP ledger are the ones that are going to see a good chunk of that liquidity rotate into. So a lot of people have asked me, what is my number one way to earn massive crypto rewards this entire bull run before we get into the euphoria stage of the market cycle? Well, if you go to xrpl.to, you guys will see a lot of different altcoin projects listed on the XRP ledger, and virtually nobody knows about this, nor is anyone really paying attention to it right now because the price of XRP has been suppressed during the entire Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. But over the next few years, as Ripple and XRP gets more traction, a lot of the projects on the XRP ledger are going to gain a lot of attention. And one of my buddies showed me a project on the XRP ledger that is the first play to earn game on XRP where you're able to earn crypto rewards simply for playing the game. Now, if you guys want to see what that game is, what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below this video. All you have to do is click more when you scroll down, and it'll show get started here. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. You simply just register, create a free account. You enter in your username, your email address, your password, and then your gender. And then you just click sign up at the bottom, and it's going to take you into the back office of the members area. Now, I want to explain really quick the benefit of playing this game to earn crypto rewards, because the coolest part about the game is the ticker of the altcoin is literally called crypto. It's a micro cap, very, very tiny project that virtually nobody knows about right now. And one of my buddies showed me this game, and I'm already earning about 10 crypto per day, which is about 1,000 XRP. But there's no guarantee that you're going to earn 10 crypto per day or 1,000 XRP per day, because your results are obviously going to vary playing the game depending at what level you come in at. So I want to be very clear that results aren't typical, and this is just purely for fun to see what happens for the rest of this bull run as the XRP ledger gains more adoption. So once you've created your free account through the link in the description below, the next thing that you're going to need is an XRP wallet. Now, the best wallet online right now is the Zaman wallet, and it's the largest and most secure XRP custodial cold storage wallet. So it's also a mobile app on your phone where you get your private keys for the wallet, but the best for holding XRP. And this is what you're going to need to be able to play the game to earn crypto rewards. So again, below this video, you're going to see a tutorial video right here, and it breaks down exactly how to set up your wallet, how to be able to fund it with XRP so you can start playing the game, and everything in between. So after you've created your free community account and you have your XRP wallet, the next step is to log in to the back office of your account. And at the top, you're going to see these 4 little icons right here. You simply click this. You go to My DGP, you scroll down, and then you click Purchase Combo. In the bottom left, you're going to click this little plus icon, so it shows 1 combo pack. Click these little 3 boxes right here, and then you purchase with your XRP wallet. And then all you need to do is open up your Zaman wallet on your phone, click this little icon right here at the bottom, and then you simply scan the code on the screen. It's going to pop up. Right now, it's 5,000 XRP to get your digital game pieces to be able to play the game and earn crypto rewards. And I'm going to show you the game in a little bit and how awesome it is, because the founder of this dumped millions of dollars in development into this game and has been working on it since 2020. So this is hands down the best play to earn game to earn crypto rewards on the XRP ledger. So I spent about 15,000 XRP on my digital game pieces because I want to be able to maximize the game And so far, just recently, I'm earning 10 crypto per day, which is about 1,000 XRP per day. So you can do the math over the course of a month on what those rewards will look like. And I can swap crypto for XRP. So I'm just going to keep stacking my digital game pieces to maximize my crypto rewards, because you also have to take into account that crypto is the in-game currency. So as more people start catching on to the XRP Ledger and they start playing the game to earn rewards, then the popularity of the crypto token will increase. So obviously there's no guarantees of any profits here, but you do not want to miss out on this as more people start learning about XRP over the next few years. So all I'm going to do to get my digital game pieces is slide to accept on my XRP wallet, and it says the payment was submitted successfully. Now all I'm going to do is refresh the page. I go to my DGP assets, that simply stands for digital game pieces, and you're going to see I got one Cryptopian, a crypto land, a box, a key, a vial, and a crystal. So I'm simply just going to click claim on each of these. I'm going to open my Zamin wallet again. I'm going to click this icon right here to scan the code on the screen, and I'm just going to slide to accept. And as soon as I've claimed my digital game piece, I'm going to click reveal, and it shows me what class this is in. And one of the coolest parts about this game is each of the digital game piece reveals are random, so you could get between a level 1 to a level 10. So I'm going to click claim to reveal the land now, and then I just scan the code and slide to accept on my XRP wallet. And it just shows this little countdown thing right here as it reveals which land I have. So as you can see, that was a level 1 land. You guys might get a different level. On a previous pack, I got a level 9. And depending on the level that you get determines the crypto rewards that you earn daily. Now, after you've revealed your digital game pieces to be able to play the game to start earning crypto rewards, in the top of your back office, you click the icon right here with the 4 squares. Then you simply click the game. And then you click the button on the center of the screen that says enter the game. And then you're going to see several in-game actions here like rent, mine, thieve, govern, rule, enhance, and bank. So depending on which avatar you got will determine whether you mine, you thieve, you govern, or you rule. And then for your land, you can collect rent on your land every single day in crypto, which is awesome. So in this case, I would click on thieve, click continue. So underneath available, I simply select my Cryptopian. I select the duration in days. In this case, it'd be 1. And then I click this little icon right here. It's going to pop up this, and it shows me the daily production. In this case is 0.4 crypto tokens. So depending on when you're watching this video, crypto might be at a different price. Right now it's at about $53. So all I need to do is confirm the action, and it's going to say it's processed successfully. And then it's underneath active, and it has a countdown timer right here in terms of time remaining until it goes back into the available section again. So you can see 23 hours and 59 minutes. Now, once this is done, my crypto balance is going to top up with an extra 0.4. Right now it's at about 44.39. And if I go back to the main page and I click on rent and click continue, you can see that I have an available land that I can collect rent on. So I simply select the land. I select the amount of days that I want it to collect rent, 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days. So this can be as passive or as active as you want, but I'm gonna click this icon right here. It's gonna pop up and it's gonna show me the daily production, and then I just confirm the action. Now you can see underneath active, I have a level 1, level 4, level 8, and a level 9. And then it shows me the time remaining on each of these land pieces that are collecting rent right now in crypto rewards, which is awesome. And so at the bottom of the screen right here, you can see crypto total net. That's about 14.96 crypto tokens. So let's just round that up to 15. And if I were to swap 15 crypto for XRP, it's about 1,554 XRP. Now that's obviously not a guarantee that you're going to earn the same amount of crypto tokens, because as you can see, I have more pieces of land here because I decided to purchase more packs because I want to be able to stack up the amount of crypto tokens I earn over time throughout the rest of this entire bull run before we get into the euphoria stage. So I'm just going to continue to stack crypto tokens, playing this game for fun, because as more attention gets drawn over to the XRP Ledger, I can see more and more users playing crypto land for fun every single day to earn crypto rewards. So again, all you need to do right now to get started is go into the link in the description below this video, create your account. Once you have your Zamin XRP wallet and you've loaded it with XRP, following the tutorial below, then in the back office, you click the icon at the top, you click my DGP, and then you purchase your combo pack to be able to reveal your digital game pieces. So you can buy one or you can buy multiple right now, because the more combo packs that you get, the more pieces of land that you're going to be able to get to be able to collect rent on each and every single day. And then if you choose to get the crypto token on the secondary market, that's up to you. Or you can just play the game for fun to be able to earn crypto rewards like I'm doing right now. So once the time expires on each of these active pieces of land, I'm going to collect all of the rent in crypto, and it's going to top up my balance right here where you can see 44. So check it out. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. And again, we're going to have a tutorial as well too on some different strategies, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, to be able to maximize this game. That way you can benefit the entire bull run as XRP explodes. So all you need to do right now is click the links below. If you go to bullrunners.com, you're also going to get early alerts on explosive altcoins, daily market analysis videos for breaking news updates like this, and you'll discover our best ways to be able to maximize the crypto land game to earn the most amount of crypto rewards this entire bull run. Because together, we believe that the spending power of the dollar is just going to keep going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over the past decade. That's the truth, and together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com through the links below. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.